The very thing that got me back and forth to work could have been repossessed if I didn't make this business work. So I'd eliminated every last resort to get into this business. I want to share this with you briefly because this was in my morning devotion and I thought it was fitting. Here's what it says. The title, "The Art of Being Wise is the Art of Knowing What to Overlook." Bible verse is Proverbs 19:11. It says, "A man's wisdom gives him patience. It is to his glory to overlook an offense." And here's the devotional. The Mysterious Island, a novel written by Jules Verne, is the story of 5 men who escape a Civil War prison camp by hijacking a hot air balloon. Very quickly, they realize the wind is carrying them out over the ocean. As the hours pass, they see the horizon receding and realize that they are losing altitude. Since they have no way of heating the air in the balloon, they begin to throw some of the excess weight overboard. Shoes, coats, and weapons are reluctantly discarded. Yet they rejoice that the balloon begins to rise. Soon they draw dangerously close to the waves again and begin to toss their food overboard. Better to be aloft and hungry. Yet a third time the balloon begins to descend, and this time one of the men suggests that they tie together the ropes that connect the balloon to the basket in which they are riding, and then sit on the ropes and cut away the heavy basket. The very floor they had been standing on falls away, and the balloon rises once again. Suddenly, they spot land, and with not a minute to spare, they jump into the water and swim to an island. Their lives are spared, not because of great heroics, but because they had learned what they could live without, and they learned what they could overlook and survive without. Now, the reason that jumped out at me is you guys can see cameras, right? So we're shooting a new docu-series type video on how this came to be. And yesterday we were out in Airway Heights at the Yokes Pack and Save that I used to work at. And they asked me to look through the window. The store is now closed, so it's this vacant building. And they asked me to look through the window and reflect. And what I was reflecting on is how I got into this business. And the fact that I had to refinance my truck, which was the only thing I had of value. My credit cards were maxed out. Banks wouldn't give me loans. My credit was shot. So the only way I was able to go to that first training was to refinance my truck to pay to go. And as I read this story, I thought, boy, you want to talk about cutting away the basket. The very thing that got me back and forth to work could have been repossessed if I didn't make this business work. So I'd eliminated every last resort to get into this business. And then I started thinking about our clients. How many of you guys talk to clients who say things like, yeah, I'm sorry, I just can't do it right now. Yet they're going to Starbucks every day. They have a television subscription that they're paying $180 a month for. They've got some timeshare that they never use because they're so busy just trying to make ends meet. All of these things can be sold, they can be eliminated, they can be discarded if you get them to focus on what's truly important. And what I loved about what Doug said, he said, my wife and I are actually talking about taking vacations again. Because when they were running their business, doing it the way they thought was best, they couldn't afford to do it. And because you guys helped push him, support him, motivate him, they now as a family are able to go out and enjoy their fifth wheel and RV and vacation. They're now talking about retirement, which was never on the forefront, but they had to make some sacrifices to get there. And I want you guys to reflect on these stories as you're on the phone with clients and help push them to the point where they get out of their own way and they say yes to the opportunities that we're presenting, because you guys can see the reason we do these tuition reimbursements, it works. And I want all of you to see it. I want the world to know this works to the people that actually work the business. So congratulations to all of you for helping Doug and others like him get his money back, be successful, and have hope again in their lives. Amen? Amen.